And welcome to Leo season. So let's just take a moment to kind of settle into the space. And we're going to do the download, the astrological download, but let's just take a moment to arrive. Take a big breath in through the nose and give me a dramatic sigh out the mouth. And again, take a deep breath in through the nose, lift up the spine, dramatic sigh. This time, take a big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to stick out your tongue. So that is lion's breath, and that's a great breath for this month. If you've done your traditional hatha yoga at all, you've probably done that breath. Usually we look to the third eye and stick out the tongue. We'll probably do that a little bit later. But just take a moment to soften the gaze and arrive. So the sun has just transitioned into Leo. The sun moved into Leo on Thursday at 7:26 a.m. Pacific time. So we've transitioned into the second part of the summer season in the Northern Hemisphere. The summer opens with Cancer season, the cardinal water, the emotional, maternal energy of nourishment. And then as we come to this midpoint, so every season has the creation, the sustenance, and the destruction or dissolution. This is the sustenance of summer in the Northern Hemisphere, winter in the Southern Hemisphere. And it is ruled by fixed fire. And so Leo is the fixed fire. It is the only astrological sign ruled by the sun, connected directly to the sun, where Cancer is the moon. And so we've moved from this rulership of the moon to now we are in the rulership of the sun. And yet, as we know, Thursday, the sun entered Leo. Friday, we had our full moon in Aquarius, and the moon is in Aquarius until 8:30 p.m. tonight, Sunday. So we are still in that full moon window. So the moon in Aquarius, Aquarius is fixed air. It is the opposite energy to the fixed fire. And so as we sit together in circle today, we are under that Leo sun. And the Leo sun is about radiance and lightness and self-love and expression and romance and play and creativity. Whereas the Aquarius full moon is very much about the humanitarianism, the inner rebel, the visionary, the breaking outside of the box. And so as we sit together this month is actually bookended by these full moons in Aquarius. So the day after the sun entered Leo, we had this full moon in Aquarius. We have another full moon in Aquarius the day the sun enters Virgo. So we are really bookended in this energy. And when the sun's in Virgo and the moon in Aquarius, it shifts that energy a little bit more. And so this whole month is really this exploration between Leo and Aquarius with this helping of Virgo. And so we have several planets in Leo right now. If you can't already feel that, we've had them there for a little while. Obviously, we have the sun, and where the sun is very powerful, very potent for all of us. But we also have Mars, our energy of Mars in Leo. And Mars is action. Mars is the signature of the masculine. And then we have, Venus has already shifted into Virgo. So we have that Virgo energy there. And Mercury is going to be moving into Leo on the 27th. So we will have that energy, the communication in Leo. And so when we are in Leo season, we enter the 5th house in astrology. So if you're not familiar with the house systems in astrology, the moment sort of we're born, we look up at the sky, and from our perspective on Earth, the sky creates these 12 petals. It's like a mandala around the Earth. And it begins, the first petal is Aries season, and it moves through the wheel of the year. So we find ourselves in the 5th petal, which is the 5th house, called the house of pleasure. The house of pleasure. And this is creative expression, this is children, this is play. So if you're familiar at all with your astrology, you might know what you have living in that 5th house, and that will be how this energy expresses. And if you have Leo in particular planets, or you know what house Leo falls in, that's also how you express this creativity, this pleasure, this play. And Leo is all about the self-expression. That is the mantra for Leo, is I express, play, courage, entertainment, creativity, and fun. So this year has been another really intense year. We're going to be in this intensity till 2023. We've been talking about that. There are a couple alignments. The North Node is sort of getting in the middle of things right now, which is the fate energy. And so really the best thing we can do this month is, as much as we can, feel into sustaining the light, sustaining the life force, sustaining the creativity, sustaining the play. So the 5th house is considered our home of full glory. So this might be a year where you have not felt in your full glory, right? Like there haven't been that many opportunities. And so in our practice today, we really want to look at how to bring in joyous activity, how to bring in that sense of glory, that sense of play, because when Leo energy is in its low vibration, it looks for drama. It looks for the ego. And so all of the signs have their low vibration and their high vibration. In its higher vibration, this is about sourcing the light for all of us to shine. So Leo is the sun. The sun shines. That's what it does. It does in the galaxy, from the center of the galaxy, and it radiates light. And how we receive it is based on the relationship each planet has to the sun, right? But it's not discriminating. The sun's not discriminating against any part of the earth. Just because it's summer on one side, winter on the other, that's not the sun's doing, right? Like that's our relationship with light and dark. And that's one of the main dharmas of our life on this planet, is light and dark. How do we dance with light and dark? How do we honor light and dark? How do we work with the time of year where we're invited to sustain life force? And then how do we work with the time of year when we're asked to let it go? So for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the middle of the summer. So we've also entered the portal of Lammas or Lughnasadh, if you're familiar with the Celtic pantheon. So the midpoint of summer, which is exact August 2nd, is exactly midpoint between the solstice and the equinox. So in Northern Hemisphere, that's between summer solstice and fall equinox. We're right there in the middle. This is considered the first harvest. This is really where the masculine and the feminine are sort of really coming into bringing life out before the equinox, where we start to move towards dark. And so this portal opened with the full moon, and it will stay open with the new moon till the 8th. So between now and August 8th, we are in this portal. And that's the new moon in Leo. So once we hit the new moon in Leo with the sun in Leo, that really sort of like brings home everything that's come up the last few weeks. So we are in this window of Leo transformation, a fixed fire, a first harvest. And the way to access that is through opening to as much light as possible. So the work that between now and August 8th is how much fun and play and creativity and sexuality and expression can you bring in while keeping your attention on the whole, the greatest good. So Leo is very much about loving what Leo loves, and Leo loves what it loves passionately and devotedly and fiercely. Aquarius, which again is the book-ended energy right now, is about the more detached humanitarian look, really looking around, really having that perspective. And so it asks us to have both. It's like, how can we in our lives, in our little bubbles, how can we have the most fun, the most play, the most light, while keeping in mind this bigger vision, this bigger purpose, this bigger connection. And this has come up a lot, I think, in a lot of our communities, because a lot of people started to get some freedom from the pandemic. And then yet a lot of people weren't focused on the bigger whole. And so obviously now we're starting to experience different restrictions again. And so that's still this pulsation, is like, how do I enjoy light and life and pleasure, and at the same time still honor the bigger picture, still consider whether I'm doing serves all. So Aquarius is the humanitarian, it is the rebel, it is the breaking out of the box, but Leo is about what we really love and are devoted to. And so Leo in medical astrology is the heart. And in traditional Chinese medicine, the heart is also fire, which Leo is fire. So for me, Leo feels like the heart all the time. It really, because of that fire, because of that relationship with the Eastern as well as the Western, it's the heart. So when you think about what does it mean to have a healthy heart, right? Like all the things we hear about, like, oh, well, you got to eat right, you got to move your body, the heart has to be able to pump and bring energy out. And Aquarius is connected to our circulatory system, our circulation, our cellular structure, sort of like how we feed out. So when you think about some of the troubles we have in the heart, we have blockages, right? Like things aren't able to come in, things aren't able to move out. So that healthy Leo Aquarius energy is, how do we tend to the heart? So the heart is healthy and it's strong and it's pulsing and it's beating, and the energetic heart, the physical heart, and then it's able to feed the circulation. The circulation is able to move through the body, through the brain, through the limbs, through the body, through the arteries. And then energetically, the more we feed our energetic heart, the more we're then able to feed into that high vibration for the collective. And so as we move into the practice today, and so Venus, and a lot of you know Venus is kind of one of my dominant energies I work with. Venus is in her evening star phase, where she's moving from the underworld up, and she's moving through the chakras. She's in the third chakra for this cycle. She's in Virgo now, and Virgo is the priestess. Virgo is sovereignty. Virgo is very much about the healer. And so in the healer, in the third chakra, and if you're familiar at all with the energetic anatomy of the third chakra, it's fire, it's will, it's confidence, it's courage. It's a lot of the same energies as Leo. And so there's this meeting place right now between the third and the fourth chakra. And a lot of people have said we as a collective, that's kind of where we're stuck, right? We're stuck between, Enneagram Judith has a whole book on like waking the global heart. We're stuck between the third chakra, which is will, and it can be ego, and it can be aggression, and it can be fire, but it can also be our confidence and courage. And then the heart, which has this high vibration of love, of devotion. And so Virgo in the third chakra, being the priestess, being the healer, moving us up into this energy. So again, through our own healing and ritual and practices, we sort of channel this energy so that we can really be our brightest, fullest, healthiest self. And then we can add to that collective vision of health and healing and light. And so as always in these practices, as within, so without, as above, so below. And so we are being offered this initiatory window, this Lamas Lunasad ritual window between the full moon and the new moon in this Leo Aquarius, to really, as much as we can, have a healthy, strong, passionate heart, energetically and literally, so that we can tend to raising that overall collective vibration, that overall care and connection. And then Venus will be moving into the fourth chakra next month. And so we're going to continue to kind of play with this third, fourth chakra as we move into Virgo season as well. So the more that we can really start with our own, and Virgo can be a little serious. Virgo can be a little bit austere. Virgo can be very much in that space. And so Leo comes first because Leo is fun and play and pleasure. So that's where we want to come from. We don't want to come from this place of like, I have to do this because it's the right thing to do, which obviously a lot of us have to come to at times. But if possible, can we come from this place of like, I'm doing all of these things because I love it and it's fun. Maybe, possibly. It's interesting. I'm someone, you might not guess this, but I have to be reminded to have fun. I have some mentors who are like, what are you doing for fun? And I'm like, well, I did yoga, I did a walk, I did, she's like, what, just for fun, not for exercise, not for spirituality, not for, and I forget that sometimes. So Leo is the fifth house is connected to children. And that doesn't have anything to do with necessarily having children. It might be your own inner child. So a great way to tap into Leo season is to do something your inner child likes to do. So coloring, drawing, roller skating, swinging, riding a bike, right? So like those are great ways to tap into both Aries and Leo. So fire energy is pretty youthful, but Leo, it's very much like, and we'll talk about this a little bit, but just take a moment and think about when you were a child or adolescent, what was something that always lit you up? And maybe it was a food, right? Like maybe it was a certain kind of food, but just like consider it, like what was something, and maybe you have to think about it for a second, but like what was something that always lit you up, that made you laugh, that was fun, that was playful? And sometimes it's hard to remember stuff like that. It's like, wait, what? And that's the kind of energy we want to bring to this month. So even as we might continue to go through restrictions and lockdown, and we're still in a lot of upheaval, and we're going to be in it till 2023 in some form or another as we're going through this Pluto return. The US is in their Pluto return right now. So it's not cute. It's not cute astrologically, like where we are this next year or so. But there are these pockets and these windows of beauty and of power and of play, and we can harness this. We just have to choose. And so Aquarius is very much that higher consciousness. We have to choose to infuse that higher consciousness with that play, because again, Leo, when it's unhealthy, this is where we get into drama and ego and all of those, and arrogance and things that are like not going to serve us. So instead, let's try to channel that into play and pleasure and expression and try to bring this balance. So third chakra and fifth house together, right? Then we've got fire, and we've got energy, and we've got the childlike expression and the play. So that's kind of our intention here. So of course, if you ever have any questions about that, you can let me know. But otherwise, like I said, that really just, there are some other things happening energetically this month, but I just keep coming back to really trying to bring that third chakra energy more into that space between the third and the heart, where that fifth house, where we can all be in our fifth house. And so if you want to do some research and find out what you have in your fifth house, and you can always send me your chart too, and I can look up what you have in your fifth house, that can kind of give you some specific ways to like look at that. But one, like I said, just think about what as a child made you happy. And maybe even in the summer, like when you were a child, did you have a particularly great summer, or even just like a moment of a summer that you had like something that really lit you up? So go ahead and let that kind of settle through you. Give yourself a little shake, little shift. We're going to move into some movement with some inquiry. We've done something like this a few times, where basically we'll start to move and then I'm going to invite you to do some writing. Now, because we're in this Leo energy, sorry, I've been recovering from a little sinus infection all week, but I traveled for the first time. I've been to the doctor and everything. It's fine. I know it's a sinus infection. So if you like want to play with when I offer the prompts, instead of writing it, you could color, you could draw. So, and you don't have to plan it, but just know that like, as I sort of offer this sequence, you are welcome to do whatever feels good. If you decide you just want to keep moving and you don't want to do the prompts, then don't, keep moving. Or vice versa. If you start writing and it really opens up that creative channel, then keep writing and don't do the movement. And also just let yourself follow your own body, follow your own breath. So Leo, again, it's about shining that light, radiating play, not taking yourself too seriously. and really just having fun. And fun is a word, like I said, a lot of us tend to lose as we get older, as we take on more responsibilities. And when we're looking at, so many challenges, it can feel selfish to have fun, right? Like who am I to have fun when people are suffering, right? And that is true. And there are some people that might need to look at how they're spending billions of dollars having fun when people are suffering. But for most of us humans, if we don't raise that vibration, if we don't access that fifth house of full glory, then we're not going to have the energy to be of service. And Virgo is the month of service. As we come deeper into the first harvest, we move into what is it we're sacrificing? What is it we're coming to service to? So we are going to be asked more of that next month of what are we willing to sacrifice? What are we going to do to be of service? So this is the cycle of like, okay, well, let me get all this juicy, fun play. So then I can come from that place to the how may I serve? Okay, so that's what this cycle is about. This is the sustaining light. So have your stuff. If you want to put on your own music, if that makes things easier for you to have like some music, some fun music in the background that you like to move to. I drum during the meditation, but you are welcome to, like I said, make this kind of your own, and then have your pen and your notebook, or you can even, like I said, grab crayons or anything. And then I am going to invite you to light your candle if you haven't already. And hopefully it's a candle that you can have safely burn for the duration of this practice. But just go ahead and take a moment in front of your candle and just call yourself into this space. We are resting under the Leo sun and the Aquarius full moon. We are on the earth, our Mama Gaia, and maybe you know the land you are on. I am on Shumash land. Feeling into the season and the cycle, allowing yourself to be held by the earth, the elements, the earth, the water, the fire, the air, the ether, the spirits of the land, the allies of the lands. And again, the energy of the stars, the sun, the moon, the planets. And here you are in between, this child of the stars and earth. This energy between the sun and the moon. And if you have ancestors, allies, guides, guardians, deities you work with, you can invite them in. But I definitely want to welcome the beings of light, the beings of fire, the beings of joy and play and pleasure. We invite you into this space at this time to infuse this circle, to infuse the collective. We are in a time of upheaval and chaos and challenge, and yet in this moment, may we choose joy, play, expression, creativity, pleasure. May we choose to radiate in our full glory so that we can raise the vibration for healing for all. You can place a hand at your heart or your solar plexus or right there in between. Maybe feel the fire of your own heart, your fire of your own inner altar. And just allow yourself to have fun. That is my main intention, is just little silly, playful, spiritual fun today. To invoke and ignite, to inspire, to sustain. If you have a match or lighter and you can safely flick it, take a moment to greet the fire. And then with your own prayer, your own intention, light your candle. Welcome Leo, welcome fire, welcome Surya, welcome the light. And then bring yourself up to stand. So just as we move, obviously just make sure the fire is safely out of the way, but within what we call in yoga drishti, so that you can gaze at the fire. And then just bring yourself up to your feet and close your eyes. And just start to move. And like I said, if there's music you like to put on, or maybe you're outside and you can listen, but just start to move your body. So maybe think about, kids, right? Kids in their bodies, they're sort of like rubber, right? They just kind of shake and shift and blah. So just for a moment, come into your body. Let your adult body start to release a little bit. It's the middle of summer. What is the middle of summer like in your body? Feel your feet, your legs, your arms, let out some sighs. And just let your body kind of shift. Some of us naturally are more dancer-like when we just start to move our bodies. Some of us are a little more clunky, awkward. It's always sort of been my story in my body, and that's okay. We learn to embrace that. And just, again, just move. It doesn't matter how you're moving. And notice what happens. Do you overthink the movement? Do you start to breathe with your body? Can you let out some sounds? And again, same thing. Is there a song that brings you into your body? And a lot of times as adults, we don't move our body unless we're like, okay, I'm going to do yoga now. I'm going to do Pilates now. I'm going to do this now, right? Everything is very intentional. And so just, we just let ourselves move. How does your body express itself? Through aches, through pains, through intuitive movement, through pleasure. And see if you can just start to smooth out any movement. And even if you're just sort of stepping side to side, rocking it. And that's an important thing. Movement during fire cycles, movement is really good. If you can get a healthy sweat in, get those endorphins moving, just move. And maybe this is a month to, again, come back to a movement when you were a kid. Maybe you wanted to be a dancer when you were a kid and you couldn't be, or you wanted to be a martial artist and you couldn't be, or whatever it is. There's plenty of Zoom classes happening right now. And then bring yourself to stillness. Feet comfortably wide. Roll your shoulders down. Feel your body. Feel this beautiful body that is breathing and moving, that is sustaining life for you right now. That has been through a year and a half of a pandemic on top of everything else. And here we are at midsummer. Here we are under the full moon. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sun, to the moon. Exhale down to the heart. Inhale, reach for the sun, the moon, and down to the heart. One more time, reach up and pull down. Inhale up. Exhale, bring your right arm down, the right leg, stretch your side body, and then bring it up and over. So now as we start to move, maybe consider moving a little bit feline-like. Inhale up, exhale to the right. So just feel into the side body, so flowing in and out of the side body. And so Leo is the symbol for the lion. Connected to the lion, the feline, the cat, the energy of royalty, the virtues of self-expression, self-love, creativity, sexuality. So now as we start to move out of just that kind of body expression, maybe how would you move as a cat, as a lion? Lions and tigers are depicted through a lot of mythology, from Egyptian, Sekhmet, Hindu, Durga. Whole world is fascinated by these powerful cats. One more side bend to each side. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend your elbows down. Roll the shoulders down. We're going to add that lion's breath again. So inhale, reach up. As you exhale, bend your elbows. Look to your third eye. Stick out your tongue. Two more. Again. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Hands to heart. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale up, hands to heart. So options, this is where you feel into your play, your creativity. You can stay with that movement or just stay with any of that standing movement, or we're going to move into some traditional sun salutations for that third chakra energy. And you can also vary that up as well, but just keep moving, okay? Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, halfway, step to a plank. Feel the whole body come online. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lower to earth. Feel free to lower your knees. Pelvis heavy, elbows in, curl up into cobra. Exhale, push back, down dog or a child's pose. Take a breath. Look forward, bend the knees, step or hop up. Fold in. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, gather up, hands start. So we're gonna do 2 more of those, or just keep moving. So think about moving like a child, moving like a cat, moving like a kitten, somewhere in between. Otherwise, following the breath down. Lift, step to that plank, feel the whole body come online. Strength and courage. Lower to the earth. Curl into cobra. Back to your dog. Step or hop up. Fold in. Bring it up. Hands to heart. One more like that, or just keep moving. Moving from your heart, moving from your core. Following the breath through plank. Down to the earth. Stretching up and back. Good, make your way back up. Everyone meeting up, reach up, big stretch, lion's breath. Now again, choice, you can keep moving or you can go for your journal and you might color, you might draw. The prompt is, I express. I express. And I'm going to give you a couple moments here and you can write the whole time, or again, if you feel done and you want to move again. I express. I express. Put down your pencil or pen. Again, if you're having a lot of fun, you can keep writing. Otherwise, finish the sentence you're on. And take a moment to gaze at the candle. Just reconnect to that fire. Fire in the sky. Healthy fire in our bodies on earth. Safe, healthy, passionate, joyful fires. Take a big breath in. Dramatic sigh out. If you can comfortably make your way to all fours, please do so. Otherwise, you can adjust standing or come to seated. And just finding some cat-cow. So this can be done seated or standing. So as you inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. This is our cow. Exhale into cat. So coming back in that more feline placement, playfulness. How would your body move if she were a cat? Or again, if that doesn't feel right, stay with that child. And is that inner child, that playful, joyful child, and not all children are particularly joyful. I mean, most pictures of me, I got a pretty pouty look on my face. But there were definitely moments, and I remember those moments. I've done a lot of work in yoga and therapy and other things to really have a healthy assessment of my life, of the moments that were beautiful and blessed and the moments that were really harmful and challenging. And so as we move through the wheel of the year, like I said, it's about light and dark. It's all about light and dark. That is our experience being planets in this solar system. The dance between light and dark, the duality, and then finding again where to focus our attention. And right now, we are focused on the light. Now you can stay with cat cow. You can start to create any other kind of movement. We're going to bring in a little bit more of a core awareness for that third chakra. If you want, you can extend your right leg up and then round knee to nose. So as you inhale, you extend out, open everything. Exhale, round. This is our tiger's tail. If you want a little more, lift the opposite arm and then squeeze elbow to knee. So at any point, stay with just cat-cow or start to trust that creativity, how that feline wants to move, how that inner child moves, or we're just, again, connecting to some traditional third chakra movements. Start to feel the body heating up. Feel that intersection between your heart and your core. Few more here. And then switching sides. You can do a couple cat-cows through the center, or if you work with a down dog or child's pose, or again, just moving, right? Like it doesn't have to be yoga. Just move, just breathe. Start to bring some heat in your body. Option to lift that left leg. Second side. Tiger's tail. Or maybe you lift that opposite arm. So healthy sweat, healthy heat. And we know that about the sun, right? Like there's all these debates about sun and sunblock and how much sun is too much sun and what is good sun. We do know we need the sun for light, and there is a healthy sun relationship for each of us. And it will depend on our body, where we are on the planet. So that same way, we want to get some sun, but it has to be appropriate. We want to invite play and pleasure and creativity, but yeah, it has to be appropriate. So that's that balance of air and fire, right? Together, they can go out of control, they can go out, or they can be this beautiful balance. Good, coming back to center, cat-cow, down dog. Feel your core. Let's do some more lion's breaths here. Inhale, open up the chest. Two more. One more. Grounding through your right hand, keep the right knee down. We're going to drop the left foot behind the right heel, left arm up. So this is a baby side plank. If your practice can take a full side plank, you can prop up on that right foot. You can play here with your balance, lifting the left leg. So just start to feel into the side body, into the obliques. Breathe. And then release, switching sides, left hand, left knee, or maybe coming on to the pinky side of the left foot. So shining full glory, right? Where do you feel in your full glory? Do you have a full glory outfit? Maybe you can safely, appropriately tend to that outfit, buy that new outfit, get yourself a facial. There's so many do-it-yourself ones at home too. And release, push it back, down dog or child's pose. or coming into a forearm plank. So listen to that inner child, that inner cat rest, or coming to a little more of that core, or both. Take a breath in plank and rest back. Soft jaw, belly in. Inhale, exhale, lion's breath. Release it down. Go for your paper. More drawing, more writing, or maybe you want to keep holding plank. Some people love plank. Next prompt, I play. I play. So again, you can color, draw. I play. And go ahead and finish your sentence, or like I said, if you're in it, stay with it. Otherwise, finish the sentence you're on. Spend a moment with the candle flame, connecting to that energy of expression and play, the light and the fire, the solar plexus and the heart. Maybe you're feeling your core. And sometimes you're spending time with the fire, and we'll do a little bit more of that throughout this practice. Take another big breath in and out. Go ahead and come back to being on your belly in the position of the Sphinx, another great Leo energy. So on the forearms, on the belly, spread your fingers, tops of the feet down, pelvis down, shake out the head. So moving into some nourishing sort of yin shapes for the heart meridian. Allowing yourself to take in. And like I said, you don't have to do a lot of sweaty practice, any kind of movement, just moving intuitively, childlike, playfully. Maybe you had a favorite song as a kid. We were talking the other day about like the first song we remembered. And most of the time it's totally, my first song I remembered was like a heart song. Totally like inappropriate heart song also, but because my son like recently like just randomly learned like this 80s song. I don't even know where he heard it. It's funny though, so it's like little things like that this month. So even if if you're obviously staying in more or there's more restrictions happening, we can still create that dance party in the living room. We can still dress up. We can still, research the internet for do-it-yourself facials or makeovers, or you can still bring that play and joy and pleasure. We can still have that full glory, in our living room. And again, letting ourselves be under the sun, be under the moon. Take a big breath. Lion's breath. Slide your hands under your shoulders. Back up to all fours. Bring your right arm forward out in front of the face. Sweep the left arm up. Thread the needle. Coming onto the left shoulder, the left ear. Press your hips back. Great twist for the heart. For the midsection, draw the belly in. And so when in doubt, we find that fun, we find that play, and the hope is that it will infuse us to create, right? So we want to take in the light. This is the sustaining of the fire season. And yet it's because we want to be able to have something to output through the year. So we're starting to move towards that first harvest, which means we do want to create something. We do want an offering as we start to move through this next month or two. Bring it back up. Switching sides. You can do a little movement in between if that feels good. And then when you're ready, left arm forward, right arm up, thread the needle. Sit back, open. Because a lot of times, if we're asked to create and we're empty, we're uninspired, it's hard. But usually when we're joyful, we're dancing, we're fun, like all of a sudden we're just brimming with creativity. And that's what we're trying to invoke with Leo. That equal shining of the light. Everyone gets filled up with the light, so then we all are giving from that overflow. And we started talking about that with Cancer this last month. We have to nourish ourselves, fill our cups, give from that full cup. And then slowly bring it up. Again, round into cat, cow, little stretch. Move your hips, move your belly. Again, just allow a moment or two here, just intuitive movement, even if you're just sort of rocking side to side. And then come down onto your bottom. Draw the right heel in towards the groin, open the left leg out to the side. And then slide the left arm down the left leg, right arm up and overhead, or keep that right hand down. So the long line of energy from the pinky finger all the way down through the side body, our fire meridian. Opening your heart towards the sun, towards the full moon. You can keep a little rock, a little shift. Slowly bring it up. Take the right hand behind you, left hand to the right knee. Twist. Draw the belly in as you twist. And unwind. Switch sides. Pull the left heel in, right leg out. Up on your sits bone, stretch the right arm up and over. Left arm can stretch or keep the hand down. Soften your jaw, your face. As you're returning open towards the full moon or the sun. And then lift it up, left hand behind you, right hand to left knee, gentle twist. But draw that belly in as you twist. Inhale. Exhale, unwind, come back, bend both knees. Place your feet down, squeeze your knees together, hold behind your hamstrings, lean back. Just feel that little bit of core. Arms can lift up. You can also lift your legs. Can you still radiate up through the heart, through the collarbones? Feel that full glory. Hands can also come down to the mat to support the low back. You might start to feel a little bit of shaking in that fire energy. Can you smile? Can you find something to laugh at? Right? Even trying to bring that play and fun into our work. One more big breath. Exhale, bring it down, soles of the feet together and fold. Shake out your head. Soften your jaw. And when you're ready, you can go for journal one more time here. Or stay in your stretch. The prompt is, I create. I create. Again, try to keep them really simple in case you felt like drawing or coloring or letting that inner child answer. And then go ahead and finish the sentence you're on. I'm going to invite you to sit with the candle. We're going to move into meditation, preferably lying down. But first, I want to invite you to just do a gentle round of candle gazing. So you want to have your candle sort of right in your eye, your line of eye. And you want to allow yourself to sit and just gaze at the candle and try not to blink. So just focusing at the candle. And the idea is that we try not to blink and we try to hold the gaze until the eyes water and tear. And sometimes that takes, seconds. Other times it can take a while, and we're not going to stress about it because we're in the 5th house of pleasure. The 5th house is also about experience. Really, 5th house wants to experience life. It wants to experience every opportunity. The house of pleasure. And so even just allowing yourself to be immersed in softly gazing at the candle, feeling the sensation in the body, in the eyes. And candle gazing is a meditation technique for purification. It helps to purify the 6th chakra, which is that Aquarius vision. And interestingly, the 3rd chakra is connected to sight, right? So we see what we want, we go after it. And so that relationship between that Aquarius Leo, we know what we want, we see it, we go after it. And so purifying the vision so that it's clear. And once your eyes start to tear, I'm going to invite you to make your way into a position for relaxation. You are welcome to stay seated, but we will be here for about 20 minutes. So I usually do recommend being in a supported position where you can let the body relax. And if you can't get the eyes to tear, that's okay. Like I said, for some people, this is a practice that takes a while. And it's one you can revisit this month, especially between now and that new moon in Leo. And so when you're ready, making your way into relaxation or meditation. Take some deep, slow breaths. Feel your body on the earth, honoring again the land you're on, the energies of your home, your body, the elements. Feel the front body open to the full moon in Aquarius, still holding this fixed air. The sun, newly in Leo, shining down on us until August 22nd. Let yourself sigh, physically, emotionally, Let yourself purr. Let the soft animal of your body, this mammal, this feline, this childlike spirit soften. Ready to receive meditation, ready to receive journey to support us in this season as we ignite, invoke, inspire the fifth house of pleasure, the house of glory, of radiance, of creativity, of the child. As we activate the third chakra of courage and action with Mars and Leo, also action, Mercury entering Leo, connecting to play, joy, pleasure, because we are also moving towards service. We're moving towards service. We're moving towards letting go. We are moving towards that higher consciousness. And yet the more we can come from the heart, the more authentic, the more genuine, the more high vibration our offering will be. Let yourself drop into your heart, imagining that fire of your inner altar and maybe lighting it. Maybe you don't sense a fire, and so you intuitively light one. And as you feel into this fire, I want you to consider those mantras of I express, I play, I create. And if one of them is particularly resonant, let yourself repeat it over and over in the space of your heart. Or maybe you combine them, or maybe in your exploration of them, there's a specific energy you're calling in. Maybe there's a shorter statement with this invocation, a way you express or play or create that can be your intention for this month. And there's no right or wrong or good way to do this. It's just allowing it to arise from the heart, the longing of the heart. Or just simply repeating, I express, I play, I create. I express, I play, I create. I express, I play, I create. Feel your heart rise and fill with these energies and intentions, the energy of gratitude for our beating, pulsing hearts, being together in the ways that we can to play and create and express. And imagine this fire of your heart warming and rising like the candle. And we're going to move this energy through the body. So you'll feel into the heart, and then we'll move that fire into a part of the body and then come back to the heart. So it's as though you inhale, you move the energy out into the body, and as you exhale, you return to the fire of the heart. So this is that Leo Aquarius. We fill our heart, and then we can connect that circuitry. So feel into your heart, and then imagine that flame reaching into the third eye, the space between the eyebrows. And then it exhales back into the heart. Inhale, flame moves into the right temple, back to the heart. A flame goes to the right facial cheek and back to the heart. The flame extends to the right shoulder and back to the heart. A flame moves to the right ribs and back to the heart. A flame goes to the right thigh and back to the heart. A flame extends to the right ankle and back to the heart. And the whole right side is ignited with creativity and pleasure and play, this fire of the heart. You exhale back into the heart, and the flame shoots out to the left ankle and back to the heart, to the left thigh and back to the heart, the left ribs and back to the heart, left shoulder, and back to the heart. The left facial cheek, back to the heart. Left temple, back to the heart. And from the heart, it moves up to the midbrain, the height of the ears, the home of the pineal pituitary gland, igniting these master glands, and then back to the heart. And the whole left side of the body is lit up and connected. This heart fire reaching all the way out through all the cells. And back to the heart. Feel that fire in the heart get even stronger as we seal this web through the body. So from the heart to the third eye, the right temple, right facial cheek, right shoulder, right ribs, right thigh, right ankle, left ankle, left thigh, left ribs, left shoulder, left facial cheek, left temple, the midbrain, and back to the heart. So now as you inhale, breathe that fire out through the body, the right and left side, down through your hands and your feet. And as you exhale, the fire returns to the heart. Inhale, we extend that light out in all directions to the edges of the body. Exhale back to the heart. And as you breathe, you just feel this light build so that again, it extends through this web of the body, this web of light. But then as you breathe, it moves even further out. It radiates beyond the web, the edges of the skin, maybe even extending out into your space, your room, your home, your house, your block, your street, your city. As you inhale, this light radiates out as far as is appropriate. But as you exhale, it returns to your heart. And your heart is filling with this fire and light, this timeless reciprocity of offering our hearts out into the world, radiating in full glory, shining our light out, and then returning to the hearth, to the home of the heart. Just let yourself feel into this expansion and contraction, this pulsation, this Aquarius Leo breath offering. To move light out, to circulate, to expand, to radiate. We bring it back to our hearts. And then as you come back to your heart, knowing that you'll continue this pulsation, that we have ignited and invoked this web that will support us through the month, this web of light and life force and energy and intention. Come back into your heart, into the fire, the light, the candle of your heart. And just let yourself experience the heat. Let your whole body feel the heat of this light, this heat of this fire. Whole body awakening, invoking this powerful heat. And then suddenly you feel the opposite. You feel cold. The heart feels cold. The whole body is cold. And then the heat returns. And let yourself play with this polarity. Be in heat and cold. Heat and cold. Until the body regulates and you find just right. Just right, that warm spot, that sun spot that the kitten crawls into, the body bathed in this perfect warmth. And as you're bathed in warmth, you are bathed in dazzling light. You are bathed in this dazzling white light, your whole body covered, beyond the body, covered in white light, dazzling gold and white. And then again, suddenly it's dark. It's a heavy darkness. You can't even see yourself. You are immersed in dark, total darkness. And then that dazzling white light returns. You are filled with light. And then dark. And then again, you feel this dance, this inner play. And it is play, like two cats tugging on a yarn between light and dark, until suddenly your field is the perfect reflection of light and dark, like the full moon casting shadows. You are bathed in the perfect amount of light and dark. And as you rest deeper into the heart, into this warmth, into this light that is exactly what is needed for you right now, dive a little deeper into the heart and we feel pleasure. Let pleasure erupt from the heart. What texture is pleasure? What sensation is pleasure? What parts of the body begin to dilate with this pleasure when you call in pleasure? And then suddenly there's a numbness. It's not even pain, it's just nothing. There's no sensation. And then the pleasure sweeps in, and you are wrapped in pleasure. And then nothing. And then pleasure. And then nothing. And you again do this dance between feeling pleasure and then feeling nothing. Because there are moments where we are just simply present. And there are moments when we are in rapture. And you let your body balance this field. This place where you can be in pleasure and joy and delight. And also okay when it passes. You drop into your heart, into warmth and light and pleasure, into the appropriate amount of these energies for you at this time. And as you drop deeper into your heart, you feel yourself wrapped in warm, light pleasure. And you suddenly are a child. You are you as a child, and maybe it's this life, maybe it's another, maybe it's a journey your mind is ready to go on, but it's you as a child. And maybe you look like you, maybe you don't. It's you as a child in the summer, and you are in your joy. What is your joy? And maybe this is a memory, maybe this is a dream, maybe this is a whole new experience. But right now, you are a child. You are in the summer sun, and you are in joy. What are you doing? Where are you? Who are you with? What do you see and taste and smell? You are a child in the summer, and you are full of joy and light. Your laughter and glee vibrate and bounce through this space. You feel it in your belly and in your heart, this pure childlike joy and wonder. And it is yours, and it is you, and it is always available. So often we go to the child and we ask them how we can take care of them. This is part of the reparenting we do. And yet here and now, we ask this child, How do I stay you? How do I take this joy and this delight and bring it into my day, into my life? And from the mouths of babes, wisdom comes forth. And this child has a message. Perhaps it is the same intention and energy you've begun this practice with. Maybe it's something brand new. But in this moment, this child that is you, who is full of joy and radiance and light, has a message, and they offer it to you with full love and trust. And you receive it. And you receive them. You wrap your arms around this child and they merge into your heart and into your solar plexus. And you are one with this joy and this childlike wonder and this delight under the summer sun. You are wrapped in light and warmth and pleasure, and you are safe and supported under the sun and the moon in the midsummer sky. All the images and energies merge into your heart, into your solar plexus. You feel yourself whole. You feel yourself full of joy and glory and light. This is yours here and now and always. You take your time to breathe, to begin to stretch, to begin to move like a cat, like a child, stretching, wiggling, shifting. Take your time, again, give yourself a moment or two and just move like a cat, move like a child. Just don't move like anything. Just let this animal of your body in this midsummer time make space for this month, for creativity, for self-expression, for children, romance, play, entertainment, sexuality, exploring your expression, your play, your creativity. When you're ready, please orient yourself near your candle again. And if you were able to have some kind of incense or herb that offers a smoke, you're welcome to ignite, obviously safely, mindfully, and if not, just stay with the candle. And so before our meditation, we did the more sort of severe practice, which is the holding the flame until your eyes water. And now as we come out of our meditation, we will ritualize the fire or the smoke with a little bit more of a playfulness. And so we invite the light, we invite the smoke to be our teacher in the same way that we ask the child for the message. And so rather than holding your focus so severely that your eyes water, I now want you to soften your vision. And I want you to come back to maybe the mantra or the message from the practice, or simply any or all of those prompts. I express, I play, I create. And chant them to yourself over and over, or maybe begin to sing. And let yourself start to move with the smoke or the candle. Maybe make up a silly rhyme or song. And so this ritual that you can explore daily between now and the 8th, or maybe just periodically, to light a candle, to light some incense, to focus your eyes softly, and then to allow yourself to start to play. If you're feeling really disconnected, really distracted, you can start with a round of the candle gazing and help to purify the vision. And then allow yourself again to visit the candle, visit that inner child, that inner light, and just start to notice maybe it makes shapes. If you have some kind of incense, you can even draw out your message, your mantra. Maybe it comes through as a symbol, as a drawing, or even just watch and move with the candle, with the curiosity of a cat chasing the laser beam, or again, a child watching its first flames. And the ritual of play is intended to be intuitive and inspired. If there are questions, if there are doubts, you can ask them out loud and then watch and move. Or if you know what you want, if you know what you're invoking, then you say it, you chant it, you sing it into the light, and you allow it to become that dance of flame. Rituals of play are personal. They cannot be scripted. And so in the next couple moments, can you make this your own? Any kind of creativity with the smoke, with the light, with the sound of your mantra, your intention, or simply being open to receiving. How can I receive my joy, my creativity? How can I have fun? And maybe there's a shape, symbol. Divination can be done through any elemental source. And perhaps there is a picture, an image, a message for you in the fire, in the smoke. This might be, again, one of those practices that goes on for you for several minutes. Maybe it's just something you give yourself a couple moments to do. What does the fire, what does the smoke have to share with you about your joy, your play, your creativity? How does it move? Let yourself come to a still point, though knowing you can come back to this practice anytime. Rub your hands over the fire, the candle, the smoke, obviously a safe distance. Rub them. And then place them gently over your crown. And then work your hands down the face, the throat. You can always come back and get a little more smoke or warmth, and just gently cleanse yourself. Bless yourself with these energies of light and warmth. You might hover that warmth at your heart, your solar plexus, that space between. Full permission to play, to create, to express. Make sure you can work all the way down your legs to your feet. Even just moving it along you, the back body, filling yourself with this light and smoke and blessing, sealing in this practice and intention. And then let your hands rest over the smoke or the flame and offer gratitude. We offer gratitude to the mystery school of Leo, the leader, the lion, the royal one, our teacher in the wisdom of children and expression and experience and romance and play. We give gratitude to the Aquarius full moon shining down upon us, teaching us our humanity, also the inner rebel and the vision and this meeting point of our own inner pleasure and purring with the higher conscious and collective. We offer gratitude for our own human and infinite hearts and bodies, souls and minds, for our loved ones, for the earth, to the elements, to the directions, to the spirits of the land. We offer gratitude and we open ourselves to invoke all the play and pleasure and joy that is available to us at this time so that we can be of service. We offer our gratitude and we open to the clarity and the wisdom that comes from taking time to play and have fun. to be in our full glory in this invocation, in this expression at this time. May all beings be safe and healthy and happy and free. May this practice contribute to that safety and healthy and happiness and freedom, to the joy and play and fun and pleasure for all beings and the world. Take a deep, deep breath in, sit back a little bit from the fire, because we're going to stick out the tongue. And so it is. And place your hands on your body, blessing yourself, your right to act in love and joy. And we bow. And so you are welcome to play with any of that throughout this month. Make it your own, journaling, moving, playing, connecting back to that inner child and that inner fire. If you have any questions or anything, you can let me know. I'm going to turn off the recording now so I can check in with my lovely lionesses here. Many blessings for a beautiful month.